Hello there. I'm your host, Tony Melchizedek, bringing you a message today. Love conquers violence, as you see by the shirt. But what I want to talk to you about, even on a more fundamental level, is about the father-son relationship. You see, in the Bible, we hear about the Godhead, we read about the Godhead, and those of us who understand the triunity, the Trinity, the three persons in one, the three that bear record in heaven, the three highest powers in heaven, we enumerate them. 1, 2, and 3, first, second, and third personality of the Godhead, three personages, different words our dictionary has as such. But I want to tell you and remind you that in the origin, God says through his servant, it is written through his servant Moses in Deuteronomy 6:4, "Hear, O Israel, Jehovah, our God is one Jehovah. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord." But what I want to say to you today is that in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word was a God. Who can say that he was not a God? There was nothing in existence except him. He is a God. He calls himself a God. In the book of Exodus, when he gives the Ten Commandments, he says, "Thou should have no other gods before me." Some people like to focus on the idea of, was the letter G capitalized, or was it a smaller case? I want to tell you that that is not the case. You are dwelling on a minor, a smaller case itself. God needed no written language. He knew who he was and is and shall be forevermore. From eternity past to the present and to eternity future. God has no problem with identifying himself. And so therefore, as it says in Hebrews chapter 1, yes, as I like to say, I believe it is chapter 1. You can check it out and read some extra while you're at it. But in Hebrews, it says there that God, who in many different ways in times past spoke to us by the fathers and by the prophets, in these last days, the writer says that he has spoken to us by his Son, S-O-N. It says that he is the express image of the Father. He is, in the New World Translation, NWT, as I will refer to at times, it says he is the exact representation. You want to know exact. No one can be a better representation of myself than me, myself, to be exact. Yet I can have ambassadors, but not in the fashion that God does, because God said, this is how I'm thinking of myself, and I want to express myself. I'm going to bring out of myself. That's what ek or ex means in the Greek. It's like exit. So I'm pressing out of myself me, what I think of me, my exact representation. Today we have a saying we call cloning, which has in no way a comparison to what God does or what he did with himself. He gave of himself. And he said, as he expressed himself, it is written, "Thou art my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. This day have I begotten thee. Thou art," he says, "this day have I begotten thee. You are my Son, I am your Father." So what do we need to recognize firstly on earth? The Father coming out of the Father. Even as earthly fathers beget children, they come out of the Father.